Nate Olson from ScorebookLive.com joins us as high school football playoffs will be underway this week. So, Nate, regular season's done. Now the games count just a little bit more, don't they?
A lot more. And what I love about it is everybody is 0-0. So, it doesn't matter at this point what you did the previous 10 weeks, and it helps if you did well because of your seed. But we've seen teams catch fire, 4 seeds, make deep runs. That's the best part of a tournament. That's why everybody loves the NCAA basketball tournament. And I think Class 3A could be a lot like that, where, there's 8 teams that I could make a case for that could win it. And there's several in there that are undefeated. So that I'm really looking forward to 3A. They're all going to be fun, but you got to love it when there's parity and you don't know what's going to happen. And there's a couple classes that, like 4A with Shiloh Christian, they're the overwhelming favorite. Can somebody beat them? Maybe. But, it wouldn't be a bad thing to put the house on them probably if you were a betting person. But not saying you should bet on high school football, but they're an overwhelming favorite. But 3A, that's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, I know you got a few games wanted to preview here, but first you wanted to get into Greenwood winning on senior night with a 35-0 blowout over Lake Hamilton. What stood out in that game for you?
The fact that they came out immediately and scored on the first couple possessions, and Lake Hamilton could do nothing. And, the week before that, they racked up, Lake Hamilton does, around 500 yards on Benton. And the reason I want to talk about this game is because just to kind of highlight Greenwood a little bit and talk about Lake Hamilton, what this means to them. I made the comment to someone that you don't want to play Greenwood late in the year when there's something on the line or in the playoffs. What was on the line here was, a couple weeks ago, I had a friend of mine from Greenwood saying, when they got beat by Parkview, we're gonna lose 3 or 4 games, and this is going to be a horrible year. And I said, how long have you been watching these teams? You don't ever count them out, and they'll get healthy. And they got through the tough part of their schedule, a tough part of it, got healthy, and then they're playing Lake Hamilton. If they lose, they're a 4 seed. If they win, they're a 2. Well, what did they do? They went out there and dismantled them because they're playing at home. It's senior night. All this momentum on your side. Lake Hamilton plays a game the week before where they're a 2-point conversion away from winning and, being in the number 1 seed position, and they don't do it. And I think they came out flat. Greenwood didn't. And, because of this ball game right here, now you've got people saying that Greenwood is a favorite to win it. and I don't think I could argue with them too much. I love Benton a lot, and Benton's hot. They've won 9 straight games, and they get it done. They beat Greenwood by 1 point in Benton. I'd love to see a rematch of that one. But the point of this game is that, in talking about it, is Greenwood is right back in it now. They're right back in it. They're right back in the conversation. This is a huge win for them. And then the question about, Lake Hamilton and our people that are in Hot Springs listed, what does that mean for them? Well, I think it takes a little bit of momentum away from her, maybe quite a bit, losing 2 games in a row. But the one thing that I do have a lot of faith in is Tommy Giller, and he is a tremendous coach. Don't forget that they were in the state championship game last year. They have 2 very good running backs, in Tevin Hughes and Justin Crutchner. Crutchner is an all-state safety who moves a running back when Owen Miller is lost for the season in week 1. So don't count them out. But I think a couple weeks ago I would have told you that I felt extremely good about them going to the championship. Now the road's going to be a little tougher. But can they do it? Yes. It's going to be a little tougher. You're not going to be playing in the friendly confines of Garland County now. You're going to have to go on the road after the first round and probably play at El Dorado, which is going to be that's going to be difficult. So that's kind of why I want to talk about that game. That one game kind of could change the course of 2 teams there. It was a big one. Hats off to Greenwood. They showed why they are one of the premier programs, regardless of class in this state, Phil.
7A playoffs game, Northside and Bentonville West. I see Northside's 5-1 on the road. Bentonville West has 3 of their 5 losses in their own stadium. The game is at Bentonville West. What do you see in that?
Yep. Bentonville West has lost 3 straight games. At one point, probably a team you could have thought of that would have contended for the second, but probably the third spot. They're the 4th spot and kind of limping in. They've had some injuries on offense. Northside is a team that, the thing is, I mean, they're very good, and I mean they're a team that you could say could be a dark horse. And we're doing a series of stories, 7A through 2A, on 5 contenders and a dark horse. They're the dark horse. Here's the problem: the winner of this game is going to have to play at Bryant. So the draw is tough. However, they did play Bryant into the 4th quarter and were a goal line stand away from cutting the lead to 6 in the 4th quarter. So I don't know. Bryant would definitely, Northside would definitely have their attention. They went toe-to-toe and mano-a-mano with them on the road, or at home, and Northside. Northside would have to go on the road here to Bryant first. They go to Bentonville West. I think they win this game, and I think they do it with their 2 running backs, Sunquist Church and Ty Massey, both over 1,000 yards. West has a good defense. I think they're on the field a lot. Braden Jones is a fantastic 2-way guy for them. He plays running back, but he's also one of their leading tacklers on defense, a special teams guy. He ran, I think, under a 4.40 at the Arkansas camp last year, so he's a guy that the Razorbacks are kind of keeping an eye on right there in their backyard in Benton County. He's going to have a huge game, I think, to win this for Bentonville West. Northside, the favorite, and I think people looking forward to next week to see what Northside could do in a rematch with Bryan. I think those kids would really enjoy playing Bryan again, although it would be a tough challenge. I think they feel like there's some unfinished business there.
Mm-hmm. And staying up in the Northwest Arkansas area with Farmington, they've got their first round matchup with Whitehall. How do you see that one going?
This is a clash of a high-powered offense and a lockdown defense. Whitehall gave up only 13 points to Parkview, lost that game 13-10. Parkview, a good 6A team, played in that 6A West, and they were right with Benton, beat Greenwood, so that tells you how good the Whitehall defense is. They also held PA to 21.5. They gave up 27 in the second half, but PA is one of the best offenses not only in Arkansas but in the country. They are a fantastic offense. So Whitehall, the best defense probably in 5A. Farmington is going to have some tough sledding on the road there, but I wouldn't count J.R. Eldridge out. I mean, he is right now, to me, on that Coach of the Year watch list. You're doing a Coach of the Year. You've got to consider him. He lost twice in this 5A West, which is the toughest conference, and he has been a quarterback whisperer with Cameron Van Zandt, a sophomore who's putting up video game type numbers in that West. He gives them a chance with a couple good receivers there to throw to in Logue, a senior, and a couple others that are good. So they're going to have to play very good offensively to combat this Whitehall defense. And Whitehall is not going to wow you a lot on offense. Zaire Green, a running back, is pretty good. Their quarterback, Matthew Martinez, kind of a game manager. If Farmington can go shot for shot, they can put up some points immediately. I think the first half's important. Can't dig a hole there. They have done that in the past. Drew saw it against Springdale when they got behind. Did it another time. I don't think they can do that here. If they do that here, they're going to lose. They need to come out, be the aggressor, and try to put Whitehall on the ropes and put pressure on their defense right out of the chute.
Yeah, I did see that, but Farmington was able to really climb their way back, but it's a lot different once you get into playoff time. From the northwest side of the state to the east central, I guess, is where you would put Gwyn, Arkansas, as they've got Hot Spring, Lakeside traveling all the way to Gwyn to take on the Yellow Jackets. How do you see that one turning out?
Interesting game here. Another matchup of a great defense. Gwyn, probably the second best defense to Whitehall. Valley View's got a good defense too. Those three are teams you think about with defense, and Greenbrier not bad. But Gwyn, relies on the defense, lockdown defense. They run the flex bone. Carl Washington is a small slot back, 5'6", maybe 150, but very speedy, dangerous. When you run that flex bone, guys are moving all over the place. You're trying to, with all this misdirection. They run it with Van Pascal to a T. An upset of sorts, I would say, it was maybe a little more than a mild upset. Nettleton wouldn't believe that. They're 10-0. They beat Gwyn last week, but I think Gwyn's still favored by most. So they're coming into this game on a loss and need to rebound a little bit. Lakeside was a team that I liked at the very beginning of the year. They started off not playing well, played a tough schedule, got into the conference and had a couple of knocks, but was playing really good now. Jordan Mills, 2,600 yards, 29 touchdowns. He's one of the more underrated quarterbacks in the state. He's going to have a huge game against this Gwyn defense. They're going to pressure him, try to rattle him in that home crowd. He's going to have to, get past that. And then Braylon Russell, who a lot of Razorback fans have now heard of, the sophomore running back, ran for 108 yards last week. He just committed to Arkansas. He's a sophomore, very talented running back. So another good find for Coach Sam Pittman in the state. Russell going to have a game too. All the offensive players, I think, on Lakeside are going to have to put up some points. And kind of the same thing with what Farmington's going to need to do is you got to put Gwyn, and Gwyn's a running team. So if you can get them behind, they're going to have a hard time getting in there, or getting back in it. But they have done a great job with their defense of limiting teams, I think, for under 2 touchdowns a game, to where their offense can hold the ball, score in those long, methodical drives, and then preserve wins.
Hey, Nate, we'll leave it there. Enjoy the first round of playoffs. There's a lot more to go, and we'll be talking about it next week. Thank you.
You bet. Thank you as always, guys. Have a great day.
We're back and better than ever. A new web interface to start the basketball season and more props, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline remains your #1 spot for all basketball and football action this season. Head to the new updated desktop or mobile website to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code BELIEVE50 to receive your bonus. That's BLEAV50 to receive your bonus. From basketball, football, and baseball postseason, NHL, boxing, and UFC, right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts.